Coming up, we're talking about sex and violence in video games, plus Adrian's got his first impressions of Killzone 3, and it's our top 5 video game romances on This Week in Video Games. Hello everyone and happy Wednesday. Welcome to This Week in Video Games. I'm Andrea Renee, here as always with the beautiful Miss Jessica Villarreal.
Hello everyone, thank you for joining us. Happy Wednesday, happy hump day, hey.
I know, we're talking about a lot of sex and love in the show today.
We sure are.
And of course we've got Adrian Acevedo Smithman in the chat room.
Hey guys, nice to see you again.
So, as you may have been noticing if you've been watching our live stream, Jess and I have been playing You Don't Know Jack in celebration of its reboot, because that is the game that we are going to play in the showdown today. That's right, the showdown is back at the top of the show, and Jess and I have been getting the game going because if you guys have played the game, you know that the rounds can kind of go a long time, and we got lots of interesting news to talk about, our awesome top 5, and of course, Yo Adrian later on in the show. Well, I want to give a big shout out to everyone in our chat room. I want to let you guys know that we love you guys, and thank you so much for joining us every week. We've got, of course, Cliff is in the chat room, Curtis AG, Dead Pixel Live, Original Justin I see, Jason MB, 708. Got a lot of cool new people in the chat today. Thank you so much for joining us. If you are watching us on thisweekin.com and want to join our live chat, it's ustream.tv/thisweekin. All right, now it's time to get to the showdown. So
Okay.
we are in the middle of a game, like I said, and right now, Jess is killing me.
But the thing about You Don't Know Jack is that in the Jack Attack round, you really can, you know, come from behind.
Armless and loving it. Jeez.
So,
I'll just put that back in the garbage.
and one thing that's so great about the You Don't Know Jack franchise is, first of all, I'm really glad that they've brought it back. Second of all, the writing is so clutch in this game. It's so brilliant and witty, and they do just, well, I gotta read this, hang on.
One of these restaurants. Table for 2.6 at the Cheesecake Factory, table for 2.9 at Red Robin, table for 3.2 at Denny's, or player 2.
And you guys can play along in the chat room.
Made up of 2.6 people, give or take an arm or a torso.
Yes!
Oh,
If you
nice.
base it on weight, that number increases significantly after eating at Cheesecake Factory.
That's true, their food is very plentiful.
You're wrong. Wow, that was a lot more fun than
I've never eaten at a Cracker Barrel.
Oh my god, I love Cracker Barrel because you have the little
Speaking of
games.
barrels,
They have little games at the table for you to play, like Chinese checkers and
Oh.
stuff like that you can play with.
Fashion barrelware.
Oh, so I won a
Going
prize
the
because
way
I got
you
an
look.
answer
In the
wrong.
barrel.
So there's
I
actually an
guarantee
achievement
in
that
the
if you
barrel.
get a prize in all
If wrong
73 of
answer,
the
game
games,
comes with a bundle of cash worth $8,000. Congratulations.
you get the prize if you get an answer wrong. It's kind of like the opposite game in this.
And I'm seeing in the chat room that you guys are having trouble hearing the game. Is that correct? If you are, let us know. We'll
Fries
make
or
sure we turn the
tater
game
tots?
audio up.
Hey, did you know King Tut was just 9 years old when he became Pharaoh of Egypt? Probably still read the Egyptian funny papers every day. Considering
Hood can
which
hear it.
animal the Egyptians worshipped, which ancient comic strip character would King Tut have enjoyed the most? Garfield Hotep, Marmaduke Amemnon,
Others can barely hear it.
Dilbert or Opus Iris? Player 1. You should have your own comic strip called Dopus.
Oh no!
Player 2. The ancient Egyptians were known to revere and worship cats.
Cats.
Like Garfield
Yay!
and Garfield Hotep. And they hated Mondays.
There we go. I'm
Am I at
catching up.
negative 5,000? No, wait, I don't even remember what player I'm in. I'm player 1, right?
Right.
Okay.
We chose anonymous names, which you can do to expedite
Brace
gameplay,
yourself
so the
for the
computer
attack.
automatically put
When
Jess
you
as
see two
tears and
clues
myself
that
as fears.
match,
So we're tears and
press your
fears.
A
Okay,
button.
we ready? I'm just gonna skip
Yes.
through this.
Of course, who wants to hear my yapping? Oh, I'm still doing it.
So this is like a
Sorry.
lightning
Here
round,
go.
you guys,
A
so any of us
banana
can
by any
answer
other
here.
name would smell as banana eat. Perhaps you know these foods by their aliases.
Ooh. Foods by Alias.
Oh, nice.
I was like, I know that one. Oh, you beat me.
This week in Kale also said chickpea.
Oh, you got it.
Oh no!
Nothing, honey. Oh, nice.
It's all that restaurant experience. All those years waiting tables. I have no idea what this is.
I have no idea what it is either.
It must be pigeon.
That's what I was thinking.
By deduction, that's the only way I got that.
Yeah, it was pigeon. You totally got that, Andrea. I think Andrea's got this one. Nice.
Player 2 is our winner.
Yes! Yes!
Player 2, you may have posted a mark in the win column, but when you take a
The
look at
only
the
reason I
stats,
won this
one
game
thing
was because
becomes
of the
clear.
jack attack. I was so far in the hole going into it. In the lightning round, you can really come back, as you guys can see.
There's an achievement for that too. If you come back in the lightning round, you can get like a 20-point achievement or something like that. But there's also an achievement for playing on the 4th of July and not being American. So, I mean, it's really funny. It's a very witty game.
And that just was released this week, correct?
On Tuesday, actually, yesterday.
So it's a really fun game if you guys are looking to, you know, get together with some friends, if you have a party. It's a great alternative to a board game, and you know, it's these really interesting questions. Like you said, there's a lot of play on words, and the narrator has all these really kind of snarky, witty things to say.
Yeah.
So it's fun.
4-player local and online. So.
And Jess and I actually were at the launch party, and you have some photos from that event.
Do we?
Yeah. You don't know Jack event?
Screenshots. No, this is the Marvel vs. 3 that they just showed.
Oh, the Marvel vs. Capcom party video.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
let's show that.
Different party. There were 2 parties that happened this week. One was the You Don't Know Jack launch party, and one was the Marvel vs. Capcom 3 launch party, which we can go in there. There's me dressed as Chun-Li. There's my friend Mandy as Dark Phoenix, and a beautiful girl named Heather as X-23 there. It was a wonderful party. Thank you to Capcom and I Am 8-Bit for throwing this. It was a community event, so it was open to the public, and I think there were like 700 people in line before it even opened, and it was just amazing. They had the first playable Nintendo 3DS there with Street Fighter 4 open to the public that anyone could just come in and play, and it was a nice little demo of it, so the line moved really fast. So I think everyone who wanted to play it got a chance to play it. It was catered, so you could eat, you could drink, and here's a short little video that I Am 8-Bit put together. It's a little 45-second video. And it was at Club 740, downtown Los Angeles. There's the crowd of people. There's some cosplayers in line there. And this is when they let the horde in. There's Dulcie. And there's me and Mandy.
Very awesome. Marvel vs. Capcom, of course, comes out next week, post-Valentine's Day.
February 15th, Tuesday. And I can't wait. I know a lot of us can't wait, so it's going to be really exciting.
Yes, very highly anticipated. I know they just had announcement after announcement of new characters out across the year. But something else that's really cool is obviously Little Big Planet, but inside this Little Big Planet case, if you were watching our show last week, you saw that Mr. Will Powers from Sony brought us free copies of Killzone 2 for the PS3, of course. And I have a couple of these to give away. And as you guys may know, we are doing a Facebook contest. And we're going to keep the contest open through the end of our live show. And by the end of the show, I'm going to have Adrian go to our Facebook page and pick a winner. If you guys want a chance to win one of these in preparation to get your skills ready for Killzone 3 that is coming out on the 22nd of February, then you need to go to our This Week in Video Games Facebook page, like us, and leave a comment on our wall. So go ahead and do that now if you guys are watching this live, and you could win a free copy of Killzone 2, courtesy of Mr. Will Powers. So, on to our first headline in the headlines. There was a lot of really interesting news that came out this week. Some sad news, some kind of controversial news. The first story I want to talk about, there's been a lot of buzz about. Experts blame sexual video games for a rise in sexual violence. Now, this was a story that came out on foxnews.com, which you guys may or may not know about. The title of the story is called, "Is Bulletstorm the Worst Video Game in the World?" Now, first off, I think we all can recognize that there's a lot of things wrong with this statement. Clearly, they haven't played the majority of violent and sexual video games that are out there, because there's some really, really gruesome and nasty ones.
Like Custer's Revenge, where you actually do go rape and pillage women and villages.
Well, and Grand Theft Auto is just as bad, too. Now, what happens in this story is they get a couple of so-called experts that come in and say that the in-game award system called Skill Shots ties the ugly graphic violence into explicit sex acts. Topless means cutting a player in half. Gangbang means killing multiple enemies. Just to name a few, they also have like gag reflex and a couple other really kind of nasty named skill shots, which I think are funny if you take them in the setting that they're given. I think the thing that people need to remember is that this is a rated M for mature game.
Right.
They're not marketing this game to children, and that's what Electronic Arts came back and replied to Fox. Because they had two experts, and one of these experts says, violent video games like Bulletstorm have the potential to send the message that violence and insults with sexual innuendos are the way to handle disputes and problems. Come on, does anybody really think that by playing Bulletstorm you're going to get into a fight with your girlfriend and then be more violent because you played Bulletstorm?
Well, first of all, that's enough, Fox News. Thank you. Second of all, I just don't understand how these experts think that violence is caused by video games. I mean, we discussed this last week. There are wars and rapes and non-consensual sex years and years and years and centuries before video games even ever came out. So I don't understand how something like a video game can promote this kind of behavior. It's just kind of like saying, you know, why did that elephant go crazy at the circus? Well, I mean, it's an elephant. It's going to go crazy. It wasn't because it played a violent video game. Like, it's in people's brains. It's not what they see on TV. It's not what, you know, it's lifestyle. It's parenting. It's surroundings. It's, you know, I just think it's such a ridiculous concept.
Absolutely, and it just gets even more ridiculous from there. The other expert, Carol Lieberman, a psychologist and book author, said the increases in rape can be attributed in large part to playing out sexual scenes in video games. This is just false. It's a made-up statement from an expert being passed off as news. In my other show that I do, Mahalo Video Games Today, I talked about how, in fact, the facts state that violent crime has actually gone down, and rapes have actually gone down nearly 40%. And so there's really just no correlation here. Adrian, what are people in the chat room saying about this?
Telemundos thinks that the parents are to blame, and Original Justin actually made a really funny comment. He said, video games? Blah. I blame Christina Aguilera for violence. She totally messed up 2 words.
That poor girl is never going to hear the end of that.
Well, and Fox isn't exactly the most credible source for news. I know back when they dubbed the Xbox 360 the sex box because of the whole Mass Effect sexing and romancing in Mass Effect, they basically had a debate between Jeff Keighley and a woman who had never even played Mass Effect. And she was going through making all these claims saying that it was horrible for children and that, you know, the game was going to expose children to all of this sexual content. And she didn't even have her facts because she had never even played the game. And so who are these people that they're finding and saying these things to? I don't know. Like I said, that's enough. Fox.
Hands thrown in the air. On to the next story. You have kind of a cool story about Dead Space 2 and Visceral Games.
Oh, yes. So basically, Visceral Games is going to be adding some customizable controls to Dead Space 2 on the PC. So a gamer living with cerebral palsy couldn't customize his controllers. He is confined to a wheelchair and can only use his chin to play video games on his PC. And he couldn't customize his controls, so he wrote to Visceral Games and asked them to fix that. And Visceral will be sending out a patch to fix their Dead Space game and for you to customize your controls here in the near future. And I just think that's really great of Visceral to do, because
yeah, absolutely,
that is your community. Like, you should listen to your community and do them the favor, because they are fans of your game, and that's great of them.
And I think that if not just game developers, but if all companies that created products really listened to their clients' concerns, especially when people are disabled and they're like, I can't use your product unless you change it for me. Right. I think they're really kind of setting a great example by saying, you know what, we hear your concerns and we're going to take care of that for you to make sure that you can enjoy it just as much as everybody else can.
Yeah,
so I thought that was a really cool story.
Yeah, and there's actually a petition going on online with over 30,000 signatures saying that all PC games should have customizable controls. And I think that's, that's true. That's one advantage about playing on the PC, is that you can kind of customize it to however you want to. With the 360, you can still do it on the 360 to however you'd like, but with the PC you have more options. And so I agree. I think all games should have customizable controls on the PC.
Absolutely. And moving on to our last headline of the day before we get to our top 5, some kind of sad news. If you guys have been on Twitter at all today, you've heard that Activision is axing Guitar Hero. Yep, it's official. Guitar Hero franchise is now over. And Freestyle Games, the creator of the DJ Hero series, also has suffered really severe layoffs as well. It's really kind of, a lot of people seem to say that they thought this day was coming, that Guitar Hero kind of rode their franchise into the ground. And at first I really wanted to push up against that and say, no, Guitar Hero is amazing, I love Guitar Hero. But then the more you think about it, it's like, you know what? They're kind of right. They did put out quite a few games in a very short amount of time.
Not only did they cancel Guitar Hero, but didn't they also cancel Tony Hawk? And Tony Hawk series.
And True Crime Hong Kong.
Yes.
There was supposed to be coming out this year that's also been canceled. And Guitar Hero put out a statement on Twitter today saying that they had already pre-developed some DLC that is going to still be released, but they will not be creating any new DLC. And in fact, they're shutting down their business department like tomorrow or something. Like this is all happening really fast.
Yeah, a lot of that has been happening. I think Disney had some massive layoffs a few weeks ago.
Well, and we saw Harmonix, the sale of Harmonix, the shutdown of MTV Games.
Hudson, it was either, I think it was Hudson Entertainment. The company closed altogether like 2 days ago. So I don't know what's going on, but don't go away, gaming companies. We love you.
I think that they're just shifting. Clearly, Activision is a gigantic publisher. They have Call of Duty, Blizzard with World of Warcraft and StarCraft. So they're not hurting for cash. I think that they're just recognizing that the franchise just isn't as successful as it used to be, that it was maybe like a passing fad. And I think, when I had this argument with someone, I said, even though I loved the game and I love Guitar Hero, dang, those drums are difficult to store.
Oh,
you know? Like, you just have them sitting out in your living room collecting dust, and then the guitar's always falling over unless you buy a fancy stand. And I think they just didn't make it convenient to play. With a controller, you put it in a drawer, it's gone.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think people maybe just got tired of constantly having to buy the updates, and the DLC was so expensive. And when you're working in an industry like with music licensing rights, like they were, there's just no way to make it affordable long term. So sad, but Guitar Hero's over. Maybe something bigger and better will come along. Who knows?
Sorry to everyone that lost their job. That's sad.
Bummer.
It is.
All right, well, moving on to something a little bit happier. In preparation for Valentine's Day next week, we decided to put together our top 5 video game romances.
Look at that. What is that? Oh, look. Those are you.
Oh, Kenny, you are fantastic. That is
great.
Awesome. Kenny on our studio team put that together for us. So we had a lot of debate over this list, and we actually changed it quite a few times. And if you guys agree with us or don't agree with us, we want to hear your thoughts. Send us messages in the chat room. Leave us comments on YouTube. Tweet us at TWIVG. That is our Twitter account. And let us know what you think about our list. So I'm going to start with our number 5. It's a classic. They've been around forever. It's Mr. and Mrs. Pacman. Now, what's really interesting is I have separate photographs of them here, because as most of you know, even though they're a married couple, they never really appear together except in the cartoon, and it's really difficult for me to find photos. And I thought it was always so funny that Mrs. Pacman kind of looks a little like a hussy in that pose there.
Well,
She's
there's
a
only
little
so
pinup
much.
girl.
They
look at
have
her.
to make Pac-Man look as feminine as possible, you know. So they're like, all right, so what do women wear? Both, okay. Then
Oh,
some
a
lipstick
bow and
and
some
then
eyelashes.
eyelashes and like yeah. I'm sure.
Yeah,
they're-
well, they do meet, I think, in the beginning of Ms. Pac-Man when they're like chasing the ghosts around, and then they come together and they like give the little kiss, like that.
Yeah.
So
So they've been together a long time. We thought we could not leave them. They're iconic. They've been in the video game industry for decades.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, Mr. and Mrs. Pacman come in at number 5 on our list. And Adrian, you have number 4.
Yeah, number 4, I picked Nathan Drake and Elena Fisher from Uncharted and Uncharted 2. I just think that it's a great romance because it kind of builds throughout the game and you really experience it because they don't start off loving each other. They kind of like get into adventures together, and it's really great how the relationship develops through the both games. And then at the second game, it gets even better because with the introduction of Chloe, now you're thinking like, oh man, like is he gonna go for the hot, hot
British
sex
girl.
muffin, or is he gonna stay with the nice girl next door? And he ends up going for Elena, which is great because I was rooting for Elena the whole way. So.
Oh, I was rooting for Chloe. I don't know. Maybe I have a thing.
Chloe would have
for
left
brunettes.
him. He would have probably, done her a couple
British
times.
brunette.
Oh, yeah, you think so? You
Yeah,
think
Chloe
she would have
would've-
been like, screw you, Nathan.
Yeah.
I'm over.
She's like,
Yeah,
I don't need you, Nathan.
As soon as he's like, "Woo, the adventure's over, so you want to come back to my place?" Yeah, screw you. Like, I'm gonna go get the next adventurer. Like,
Give me the bitchy brunettes.
All right, on to number 3 on our list. It is, and this one we had some debate about because we were like, well, is it romance or is it just hooking up? And we decided, well, there's definitely some romance involved. It's Commander Shepard and the entire Normandy crew. Now, this video we're showing you, of course, is the infamous Commander Shepard and Miranda scene because I think we can all agree that
pretty hot.
she's probably the most popular partner to hook up with. But all of us have actually hooked up with somebody different. In my game, I hooked up with Jacob, who is also very hot, may I add.
I hooked up with Tali. And you, Adrian? Who did you hook
I
up
haven't actually played the game yet.
Oh, but it's on PS3.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm getting to it. I'm just past Bayonetta. I'm working on Infamous. I'll get to.
All right. But who would you hook up with? You'd probably hook
Oh
up
yeah,
with
Miranda.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
Miranda's
No,
pretty
no
hot.
problem.
Yeah.
I tried to hook up with Miranda. She didn't want anything to do with me.
Well, I do see it as a romance because you do have to build that relationship and you do have to gain their trust and they make you wait. They make you wait until the very end to give it up. And so it really is like establishing a real relationship, a real romance, if you will. So.
And as you pointed out in one of our previous conversations, you get achievement if you're loyal, if you're monogamous with the person that you romanced in the first Mass Effect.
That's true too. Aww.
So that's our number 3. And you have our number 2.
Yes, number 2 is from Final Fantasy VII, Cloud, Strife, and Aerith Gainsborough, or Aerith, depending on. So basically, of course, there was the love triangle between Cloud, Aerith, and Tifa, but we all know who Cloud was really going for, and it was Aerith. And I know men who have actually cried when Sephiroth comes down and kills Aerith and takes your true love away from you.
Spoiler alert!
Well,
Spoiler alert!
It's a 12-year-old game.
Final Fantasy 7, they're
Yeah.
on like 13 part 2.
I know,
Get
but
with the
decade
times.
ago. If you haven't played it by now, you're not going to play it. And I think that's the one thing that most everyone knows from the Final Fantasy franchise is Aerith dies. And we all know that Cloud never really got over it. And so that's why he's like so emo Cloud all the time. He's always like in his little corner. He's always got that hair like in his face a little bit. So it's because of her, Aerith.
He's a little too effeminate for my taste.
little androgynous.
Yes.
But that's just Japanese characters in general. They're all very like
Agreed.
beautiful.
Definitely.
And I think I mentioned before, like the females who cosplay as male characters actually look better because they do look effeminate, like you said. So, yeah.
Very, very nice. All right, so now it's time for our number 1 video game romance. Hopefully you guys playing along in the chat could probably guess who it is. This couple has been together for over 20 years.
25?
He is
Yeah.
continually going through oceans and fire and enemies to rescue her because somehow she always manages to get kidnapped by the same dragon. Would you call him a dragon? I'd call him a dragon. All right, it's Mario and Peach.
Aww.
And this is a cute little montage that I found online.
Hey.
And a lot of this is actually fan art.
Wow.
Some of it are screenshots. It's so interesting. I was telling Jess before the show, when I was looking up some videos for our show today, I actually found a lot of really interesting montages. Like, there's a lot of Mario and Peach, like, montages out there. So if you're interested in looking them up. So Mario and Peach, they're our #1 video game romance, and I just love that. And he's just so devoted. It doesn't matter how far away she is, if she's like 9 galaxies away or whatever, he'll always go after her. And that is true romance. That's dedication.
And that's 25 years. That's like some, you know, like our parents didn't even last 25 years. Some of our parents. Not me, though. My dad kept me off the pole. Everything is fine with my family, but I'm just saying. Just saying.
We just learned a lot about you just in that instant. Kept her off the pole. All right, so that is our top 5 video game romances in honor of Valentine's Day. As you guys know, it's coming out next week. Or it is coming out next week. It is next week, next Monday. So if you have a significant other, don't forget, it's on Monday. Buy flowers or chocolates or whatever you have to do. It's time for Yo Adrian.
All right, so for this week, I brought in the Killzone 3 demo. So what happened is that for PlayStation Plus members, you can already download it. And if you are a PlayStation Plus member, I'd say go download it right now. So what I did is that I cut together like a first impressions kind of video. So take it away. So you start off and you're flying around this hover ship, and it's really cool because it just gets you into the mood, which is firing at the Helgen, and it's incredibly epic. Stuff is going on all over the place. You have to take down those structures. It's just a great introduction to the demo. I'm sure the one to the game is going to be even more epic, but this was really good to quench my thirst. And here you go into basic cover mechanics again, and I'm really glad that they kept the cover mechanic in there because that's what I think distinguishes Killzone 3 from so many other shooters, that you have to pin up against the wall and go and make precise shots just like that one. They can be really far away, but if you get them, you will get them. Another great thing is that you really feel like you're a person, like the reloading animations, the fact that you could see your legs there, the fact that your camera scoops over to get the ammo, like it's all added in so you feel like a person holding a gun and not just a floating gun. And stuff like that, like the guy tumbling down the stairs, that's not pre-animated. That may happen, it may not happen, which is another great layer to the game. And this is the new jetpacks. And what I noticed is that the jetpacks aren't jetpacks, they're really more like hover packs because you just use them to make big jumps like that. And they have a small boost, but if you boost too much, you'll just eventually fall to your doom. So, but they're neat to control and you get a really big gun with it. And what they also brought back as well was the nice motion controls. So whenever you put one of these bombs in there, you have to turn the 6-axis over to the right and then turn it to the left and turn it to the center, which seems really intuitive and natural, and it doesn't seem tacked on to me. And I'm glad that they kept it for this game as well. So then you go off and set the bomb off.
Looks beautiful.
It's amazing. Like the graphics are amazing. And this is one of the new artillery that you got for the game. It's great. And lastly, a fun cutscene from the game.
Now it's clear.
Now it's clear. See? Get it? Clear. That's clear.
Nice. Very good. No, it looks really cool. I saw that Seymour Beauty 1 agrees with you that he really likes, is it Booty?
Seymour Booty.
Booty.
Yeah.
Well, sorry, you should spell with an O then.
Booty.
Anyway, he agreed with you. He liked the motion controls. And I see the DCD says that he's already reviewed it. You don't got to rub it in, you got a preview copy.
I'm not rubbing in.
Not you, the DCD.
Oh, okay.
He knows who he is out there.
All right.
And I see PC Nerd is in the chat now. What up, PC Nerd? So, Adrian, you have to go to our Facebook page and pick a winner. So I'm going to have him do that. But just to remind you guys, if you haven't gone to our Facebook page and left a comment and you want to win a free PS3 copy of Killzone 2 and this really fun little Sackboy Little Big Planet case, You have a couple of seconds to do it. If you guys missed some of our shows and you want to watch them back, I want to let you guys know you can always do that on YouTube. It's youtube.com/thisweekin. You can also email myself or Jess or Adrian if you guys want to see something on the show, or if you just want to send us love or hate mail. We take it all. It's videogames@thisweekin.com, and like I said before, you can follow us on Twitter @TWIVG. Who do you see in the chat there?
Oh, I was going to say, Holden190. He says he posted on Facebook. I know this is his first live show, so we want to welcome Holden. Mac Attack says he wants a shout out from Jessica. So, hello, Mac Attack. Shout out.
Nice.
I just saw them in chat, so.
And we do love you guys in our chat room, and thank you so much for joining us every week. All right, so what do we got over there, Adrian?
All right, well, we got a funny comments, and we got like a nice sincere comment.
Give them to us.
It's
so
a toughie.
Let's pick. How about one sincere comment and one funny comment, and then we'll give away 2 copies.
Give away 2 copies. Okay.
Yeah.
So for the sincere one, we got Nancy Lopez. She said, "I really like this show. I watched it on YouTube and instantly fell in love with it. I really like that 2 girls host the show. Aww. It makes me feel proud to be a female gamer.
Yay!
Well, hope I can win the cool little Big Planet bag. I would so rock that to school. Well, thanks. Happy face."
Happy face.
Well, congratulations, Nancy. You officially won.
Yay.
We'll be sure to contact you on Facebook to get your information from you. And who's our other winner?
And the other winner, let me see.
Don't think too hard.
Yeah, I know. All right. Okay, top 5 video game romances, Killzone 2, Interplanetary Strategic Alliance. How romantic is that? Hey, baby, you want to have a strategic alliance with me? Bow chicka wow wow.
Who is that?
There you go. That's Noah Clark.
Noah Clark. All right, nice. Thank you so much for your comment.
And there you go.
Anyone that types in bow chicka wow wow has to win.
Has to win.
I love that. All right, congratulations, you guys. You both won a copy of Killzone 2 for the PS3 and a Little Big Planet Sackboy zipper bag. Thank you so much for watching. That is the end of our show this week. Next week, we have, he's in the chat room right now. The DCD will be here via Skype, I believe, on our show, talking to him about all the cool stuff that he's doing in the land of video games. And then the week after that, we're going to get Andre Black Nerd Comedy on the show. So that should be a lot of fun.
Too. Yeah,
so stick around, or stick around. We don't have anything else after us. Normally it's This Week in Music, but now that we're on Wednesday, it's nothing.
Oh,
so if you guys want to check out some of our
us.
other shows, you can go to thisweekin.com. We have a lot of really other cool shows that are on there. We have This Week in Music, like I said, Pensado's Plays. This Week in iPad is my other show. We've got This Week in Startups. If you guys are trying to start a business, it's a pretty cool show. All right, so I'm going to say it's time to go. You can find Adrian on Twitter @GodzillaRex. You can find Jess at
JESV. That's @JessV.
And you can find me @Andrea Renee. All right, we'll see you guys next week at 7 o'clock Pacific time. Right now, it's game over.